Hey, I'm Vinny and this is Makeify. So you know those pumpkin carving kits you can buy around Halloween every year? I find the knives that come with those things just terrible. I haven't found one that I've liked yet, so I came up with a way to make my own, and they work so much better. I will show you two ways to make them. One, which is like wood and basic tools, and then another way if you have access to a 3D printer. So they're really not that hard to make. I'm going to show you how I do it. Alright, so for the blade part, what you're going to want are the cheapest jigsaw blades you can find. No sense in spending a lot of money on jigsaw blades just because pumpkins are soft. The cheap ones work just fine. And I like to buy a variety set, and then I have a couple different kinds of blades I can use. I like using either metal blades or like a wood scroll blade, something with a TPI, teeth per inch, of like, I don't know, 12 up to 24. The 24 is going to have real fine teeth, and that's good for, like, you know, real delicate, intricate cuts. A thinner blade is also good for, you know, getting into tight spots. You could go up to a bigger, you know, spacing on the bigger teeth if you're really hogging out big sections, or like cutting the top off or whatever. But in general, you know, something in the 12 to 24 TPI is usually pretty good. Jigsaw blades come in a variety of, well, there's two kinds. There's U-shank and T-shank. T-shank is kind of the more popular, and for sawing, that's, I think, is a better blade. It's design. But for this purposes, I like the U-shanks because the shank is flat, there's nothing kind of in the way, and it makes it easier for attaching this to a handle. Alright, for the handle, the first way I'm going to show you, I'm going to use dowel rod. This is just a 1/2 inch oak dowel. Kind of just find a size that feels good in your hand. This might be a tad small, but I kind of have small hands, so this should work okay. Okay, and for length, it's just kind of what feels right in your hand. I'm gonna do about 4 inches. And just cut a piece of this to 4 inches. Alright, and then grab a drill bit that's about the same size as that shank, 1/4 inch. In this case. And then we're going to drill a hole in the end of the dowel rod just deep enough so that the blade sits in there, so that its teeth are kind of right at the edge. Alright, so if your blade has some paint on it, which it probably does, I like to take a little bit of coarse sandpaper and just roughen up the shaft. Even if it doesn't have paint, it's good to kind of roughen up the metal, because we're going to be gluing this into the wood, and it's nice to have a rough surface for increased surface area for the glue. Okay, now to glue the blade to the handle, I like to use JB Weld, or in this case JB Quick Weld. It's a little faster than a normal JB Weld. Any sort of 2-part epoxy probably would work well. I like, whenever I'm doing anything with metal, I like JB Weld or something similar, because it's metal in it. So it's real easy to use. You can find this stuff in most hardware stores or whatever. I'll put a link down in the description too. But just a 2-part epoxy. You put equal amounts of the hardener and the resin. Mix it up. The JB Quick has a working time, I think, of like 6 minutes. So you kind of have to go a little fast, but not ridiculous. You mix it up till it's a nice uniform color, like this. Okay, and then take our blade, add a lot of this because we've drilled a circular hole, so it's going to take a lot of this to kind of fill in that hole. So actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some right down into the hole to start with, in addition to putting it on the blade. Sorry, I'm holding the blade in my mouth. I don't have enough hands. Okay. And then this should be a pretty tight fit. Might have to squeeze it. Okay, that's good. And then you want to really get that epoxy in there. Fill in that void as best you can. Okay, I'm going to let that cure for a couple hours. Alright, so this has cured enough that it's pretty much done. Now, you could use this as is, but there are two kind of improvements I like to do here. First off, I like to sand or grind or file this point to a sharper point. So I'm going to do that. Okay, now this is going to be quite functional, all right? It's going to cut well, but it's not the safest tool now because there's basically, as you're cutting, there's nothing preventing your hand from sliding and getting all cut up on the blade. You could stop here, but there's one thing I like to do to make this safer. So what I do is I like to make a stop, a bolster, a guard, okay? And to do that very simply, so I get another piece of dowel that's a little bigger, in this case 3/4 of an inch, and I will cut a piece of this. And then drill a 1/2 inch hole into this piece. Then you use a bit of wood glue to glue this ring right below the blade there. I like to use Titebond 2 or Titebond 3 for this. Those are my favorite wood glues. Titebond 3 if it's going to be exposed to any sort of water or anything. Let that dry. And once the glue dries, the knife is ready to use. Now, there is a better way to do this, but not everyone's going to be able to do it. What I have is I've created a 3D model that can be 3D printed into a handle like this. I have the file is free to download on Thingiverse. You have access to a 3D printer. This is the way to go. This is it's a better design than this for a handle. And basically all you have to do is you get a blade like you did before, prep it by sanding it here, and then I'm going to epoxy it into the handle. Again, I'm using JB Quick Weld. And the nice thing about this design is it's set up perfectly for these U-shank blades. Just slap on some epoxy, slide it into the handle. Make sure there's plenty of epoxy just to make sure it's in there nice and good. Let this cure. Alright, so let's test these things out. I don't know, we'll start with, I'll just pick one, we'll start with, actually, let's do this guy. I'm gonna cut out the bottom of this pumpkin. This is a baking pumpkin, not a carving pumpkin, so It's actually a little harder to carve. There you go. As you can see, these things work quite well. I've actually used these on my pumpkins for the last several Halloweens, and I'm very happy with them. Much better than the ones I've found in stores, you know. Anyway, I hope you found this video helpful, useful, entertaining, something. Thanks for watching. Hey, I'm Vinny and this is Makeify. So you know those kits, Hey, I'm Vinny and this is Makeify. So you know those pumpkin carving kits you can buy at stores around Halloween? If you're like me,